So as you mentioned, I'm Steve Johnson. I work at Marathon Petroleum in one of our refineries, but I'm also working on this larger project where we are introducing a number of different AI methods into how it is we work on a day-to-day basis. And I want to talk about one of those today and how it is we work with project operations or how we work with them to make that happen. So, I mean, the first question we always ask is, does AI make sense at a company like Marathon? And of course, the answer is yes. It's just a matter of finding out how and where things fit best. I'll give you a little background about Marathon Corporation. We are U.S. based, largest petroleum hydrocarbon refinery in the country. We've got 15 refineries, a large number of gas gathering and processing stations, pipelines, terminals, marine, lots and lots of stuff. So I guess the point is that we're a very complex company with lots of different business units doing, similar in the end work, but they tend to be they can be very different as well. Lots of equipment. Much of it is unique and very complex. And we've got a large, of course, ongoing maintenance effort to keep all of this equipment up and running well. So the question is, can AI help us, in our maintenance efforts? And we think there's many ways, and I want to show you one of the examples today that we are using. So when there is a problem reported in the field, a corrective piece of work, not a preventative piece of work, but a corrective piece of work, we ask the operators who find the problem to indicate the equipment, the problem that they're having, and how urgent the problem is. Then that work request will ultimately turn into a work order and then be planned by a human planner. And the planner takes the request, the description of it, and turns it into a set of executable steps, what skills are needed, how long they're needed for, and the parts necessary to make that repair. And in the past, that's been very manually intensive process. We currently, or in the past, we were working with an SAP system, and it was just a lot of work and really based on a lot of human expertise. It really depended, the quality of the plan depended on the experience of the person putting the plan together. So we think that we can, AI can help us in this space by simply, intervening in some of the human's processes and helping the human make better decisions when it comes to work planning. So we built an internally built a very large AI engine that works on old work orders, prior work orders going back, 10 plus years. And when a new request comes in, we push it through the AI engine and ultimately end up with a work plan, enhanced by or enabled by human interaction as well, but something which we're finding to be of significantly greater quality and ultimately helping the human being, that person at the desk, move much more quickly. Where in the past they might have been able to, perform 2 or 3 complex work orders in a day. Now they can do 5, 6, and 7 work orders in a day. So there's been both a quality and a productivity enhancement by introducing AI to our work planning process. Of course, one of many places that we've worked AI into the process, but work planning is an interesting and a big impact one. So how does project operation help? Well, it helps us a lot in these ways. So when a work request comes in our current system, working with Microsoft and project operations proMX, we automatically change that work request coming in from the field into a project in project operations. And then in order to feed the AI engine correctly, we need to generate a good prompt that takes the problem, the piece of equipment, the priority of that, and generate a prompt such that a human might type into ChatGPT a prompt that stimulates the engine to respond. Now we do this automatically through the project. So the project kicks out a good prompt to the AI engine to start the process. The human then can interact with the AI engine to indicate that maybe the number of people that we want on a particular project step is too many or too little based on what the AI engine says. So the human can intervene there just by speaking or typing into the prompt for the AI chatbot and ultimately getting things right. And then once the human says, "Yep, this is ready to go. I like this work order," we turn that automatically into our project tasks in project operations, and then into the work work plans back in our Microsoft solution. So project operations helps us really on the front end and the back end, and really makes this process work very, very well. Without it, there'd be a lot of human interaction in addition to the AI engine. Right now, it's a completely seamless process from work request to the ultimate plan, with the only human interaction just happening in here while the human interacts with the AI chatbot to get the job done. But on the front end and on the back end, project operations is essential to making this a streamlined process. So that's the topic that I wanted to talk about today, and indicate how project operations helps us make that happen. Of course, this AI engine is proprietary to Marathon. It's not a public engine, but we believe you can hook up any engine you want to a process like this and make it happen. So with that, I will open it up to questions that you might have on anything about Marathon that you'd like to know more about, or how it is we're working with project operations to make this work.
Hi, Stephen. It's me again, Claudia. You see me? Hear me?
I sure can. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. I don't know if it's maybe nice to turn the laptop, but here are so many cables so that you can see our guests today. So I have an external microphone. I will check if someone has a question. Oh yeah, I think this is way nicer, so you can see our room. Is that a little better for you?
Yeah, I bet yes, that is nice. Thanks.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. Okay, let's check if someone has a few questions. Ladies and gentlemen, you have questions. Perfect. Give me a second. I run to the person.
Sure.
So he's talking to this microphone, and he can hear me.
Hi. Can you hear me?
I can, yes.
Very good. I learned through your presentation that you have significant improvements in the process of setting up those project tasks in the beginning. But looking from an end-to-end process, did you experience any issues by just improving that kind of throughput in the beginning? Did that create any issues in the end?
I didn't create any issues. It was all positive. Being able to get more from the people, better quality and more throughput, well, it was nothing but positive. Obviously, we have to invest a little time in the people to get them to work with a chatbot and an AI engine. So it took some effort to introduce the workers, people who are in the past. I mean, the people who do this work, this planning work, are typically people who had spent time turning wrenches in their past. So they generally are not the type of people who love to work with ChatGPT and other tools like that. So it took a little time to bring them up to speed. But once they got used to it, I think they've all found it to be a real good process.
Thank you.
But no, I don't think there were any negative impacts to the business at all as a result of this. And we are in our early stages. I must admit that this is not a tremendously mature process. We are continuing to learn, but so far so good.
Thank you, Stephen. There's another question. Give me a sec.
Sure.
Yeah.
Hey, Stephen, it's Jonas. I was wondering
Hey,
if
Jonas.
you could share how exactly you trained that agent, and you mentioned SAP. Maybe you can talk about that a little bit more as well.
Yeah. So I'll talk about the SAP part first. So SAP in the past handled this entire process for us. Take the AI out of it, handle the entire process from the work request all the way through the projects, which are called work orders in SAP, through the tasks, which are called operations, and the full work plan. So SAP was our entire engine for this, and now we have transitioned to a combination of the Microsoft field service management or service mobility application in conjunction with proMX project operations. So the teal, the green boxes are the Microsoft boxes, the blue boxes are the proMX boxes, and this all replaces our current our previous SAP system. Now we do take all this information, push it back to SAP because we need it for accounting and financial purposes. So this all flows back to SAP in the end. But from on a working day-to-day basis, the people in the field don't use the SAP system, or will not use the SAP system much at all going forward. So in terms of training people, what we ask them to do is just do a side by side. So you take the same work order that you do manually, and you take it and you do a parallel with the AI engine, so that they can see, hey, this is what the AI engine is doing, and how it is they can interact with that to ultimately take what they did previously in the past and make it better. So that side by side, take that same take that same work request on the left hand side, do it manually, and then also do it with the help of an AI engine. And ultimately, they learn very quickly that, yeah, this really, there's some upside to it. There's some things that I had to go look up manually in the past that the engine just recommends for me to do. It'll take a look at past plans. It'll tell me, hey, these are the outliers. These are the things in the past that you requested that don't really make sense given your problem. And they learn from that very, very quickly. The humans learn from very, very quickly. And I think that maybe if we had a concern is that we might become a little bit too dependent on the AI engine and lose some of that human knowledge that was essential to us in the past. So there's a balancing act, becoming overly dependent and just accepting the output of the AI engines as truth, instead of really analyzing it and synthesizing it as they have done in the past. So in the past, these were very experienced people. That's one of the upsides. We do think it's not going to require as much experience for folks to operate in this position anymore if we can get this working really well. And in the end, there's a certain percentage of these things that can pass right through the whole process without ever touching a human being at all. That would be ideal to us if we can get some of these more routine. If I simply have a pump seal break, which I've seen 15 times before, this similar piece of equipment, perhaps I don't even need the human interaction to get that done. That would be ideal. That's the long term. We're certainly not there yet.
Thank you, Stephen.
And we do believe there's always going to be a role for a human being. We don't expect the AI engine to ever 100% replace what the human being is capable of doing. We really see it as more of an enabler, really helping the human being become better at what they do for the more complex things. For the simple things, let's make it go through. But for the complex things, we'll need human interaction.
All right. Thank you, Stephen. Let me check if there are more questions. We have more questions with Stephen. Okay. Looking good. Stephen, then again, thank you so much. This is your...
You're welcome.
Yeah? Please go ahead.
No, you're entirely welcome.
Okay, thank you.
Hear what some of the other folks in the room are doing. So yeah, we'd like to learn from what you're all doing as well.